We dove deep into 15 seasons and 327 episodes of Supernatural, plus hours of behind-the-scenes chat, to find the 10 best unscripted moments you didn't see coming. From Dean's hilarious car concert to Sam's ASL slip, these gems prove why the show felt so real and alive. Fact 1. Dean's Eye of the Tiger car concert, S4E06 Yellow Fever. We're kicking things off with one of the most iconic and completely unplanned moments in Supernatural history, Dean Winchester's famous Eye of the Tiger car concert of Season 4, Episode 6, Yellow Fever. In the behind the scenes, Jensen Ackles was sitting in the Impala, waiting for Jared Padalecki to hit his cue so they could roll into the next scene. But Jared completely missed it. Instead of breaking character or calling for a reset, Jensen just went with it. He leaned into the silence, cranked up Survivor's Eye of the Tiger, and launched into a full-on mini rock concert, lip-syncing, drumming on the roof, and giving fans a performance nobody could have scripted. And the best part is that you can actually see the crew in the background trying not to lose it. The laughter was so real, so infectious, that the director decided not to scrap it. They tucked it in as a surprise post-credit scene, and it instantly became one of the most rewatched Supernatural bloopers of all time. Fans literally nicknamed it Dean's Car Concert, and for good reason. It perfectly captured the playful, chaotic energy that made the show feel alive. And it wasn't just a one-off. This little accident opened the door for more improvisation, proving that sometimes the unscripted stuff was just as powerful as the carefully planned storylines. So next time you watch Yellow Fever, don't hit skip when the credits roll. That's where Jensen Ackles turns a mistake into pure TV magic. Fact 2. Dean in priest disguise stealing sausages, S1E14 Nightmare. Now let's jump back to Season 1, when Supernatural was still finding its rhythm, and Jensen Ackles decided to slip in a little unscripted gem. In Nightmare, Sam and Dean roll up pretending to be priests. On paper, it was a straightforward undercover scene. But Jensen being Jensen, he spotted a plate of cocktail sausages on set and decided Dean Winchester wasn't walking past free food. But what exactly did Jensen do to make this simple scene unforgettable? Well, completely unscripted, he just grabbed some sausages and popped them in his mouth while staying in character. The crew didn't call a cut. Instead, it stayed in, and suddenly Dean had a new quirk. Jared Padalecki's reaction was bombastic. That side-eye he throws in the moment isn't scripted at all. It's Jared genuinely catching Jensen stealing snacks in the middle of a take. And that tiny, real reaction made the brothers feel more authentic than any scripted line could. But here's where it gets interesting. That off-the-cuff move ended up sparking one of Dean's longest-running traits, his obsession with food. Pies, burgers, greasy diner meals, you name it, it all traces back to that little sausage theft. It wasn't written or planned, but it became Dean. And that's what makes this moment so legendary. A simple bite of food turned into a 15-season fan-favorite running gag. Fact 3. Fight the Fairies. Season 6, Episode 9, Clap Your Hands. If you believe, you won't believe what happened inside the squad car during this episode. In Season 6, Dean's known for his bravado, but during the Clap Your Hands. If You Believe episode, Jensen Ackles added a fun surprise that wasn't in the script. When Dean shouts, "Fight the fairies," you fight those fairies. That extra yell was a total ad-lib, a spontaneous burst of energy that made it into the final cut. Even Jared Padalecki, who plays Sam, admitted he lost it filming this moment because Jensen's outburst was so unexpected and hilarious. If you watch closely, you can almost see Jared fighting back a grin in the scene, which only makes Dean's delivery land harder. It's one of those blink and you miss improv gems that still exploded into a fan favorite. Pretty quickly, this line went viral in the fandom. Fans turned it into memes, shouted it at conventions, and quoted it online for years. It's wild how a single improv moment managed to capture Dean's unfiltered energy so perfectly. And here's the kicker. Jensen actually didn't pre-plan this. He later shared that it was just instinct. a Dean thing that slipped out naturally in the chaos of filming. That raw authenticity is why it stuck. Fact 4. Sam's ASL slip, S11E11 Into the Mystic. In Season 11's Into the Mystic, there's a sweet moment where Sam, played by Jared Padalecki, is signing in American Sign Language, ASL, to Eileen, played by Shoshana Stern. But Jared intentionally slipped in a rude slang phrase as a private gag between the two of them. Totally unscripted, completely cheeky, and something they cooked up just to make each other laugh. Shoshana later revealed she had to correct Jared's signing in character, which is why their little grin feels so natural. What you're actually seeing is a genuine shared moment between friends that made its way into the final cut. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. If you thought Jared just fake it, then you're wrong. Completely. He had actually taught himself bits of ASL outside of filming to bring authenticity to Sam's interactions with Eileen. That dedication makes this playful slip even more impressive, because it shows both his respect for the language and his mischievous sense of humor. This thing added layers to the bond between Sam and Eileen, while also showing how much trust Jared and Shoshana had behind the scenes. It's these little unscripted sparks that make the characters feel alive. And of course, Jensen wasn't about to let Jared hog all the improv spotlight. Fact 5. Dean mock cries back at the baby, S6E2 2.5 Men. Okay, did you ever wonder how this tender moment between Dean and the shapeshifter baby came to life? Actually, in Season 6, Episode 2, 2.5 Men, Dean is holding a creepy shapeshifter baby who's wailing loudly in a supermarket. Jensen Ackles spotted an opportunity and spontaneously mimicked the baby's cries in an unscripted move. But Jensen's mock cry added such a natural and hilarious twist that it completely changed the tone of the scene. Instead of just being awkward or stressful, it turned into one of those perfectly human Dean moments, equal parts funny and heartwarming. Fans immediately picked up on it, and it quickly became a favorite replay scene. Even some crew members later admitted they weren't sure if Jensen was doing it just to crack everyone up, or if he was genuinely trying to calm the baby actor down. Either way, it worked. That mix of chaos and connection is exactly why the moment feels so real on screen. It's a great reminder of Jensen's instincts as an actor. He could take a tense setup and inject humor without breaking the emotional core of the scene. And the result? A tiny improv that made Dean feel more relatable, showing that even a hardened hunter can be unexpectedly tender and goofy. Fact 6. I think you hurt his feelings. S6E19 Mommy Dearest. Alright, here's a little brotherly moment that wasn't in the script, but became pure gold. In Season 6, Episode 19, during a tense scene where Dean needles Castiel, Misha Collins blanked for a beat on his line. Jared Padalecki stepped up instantly and filled the gap with a now famous quip, I think you hurt his feelings. This off-the-cuff line was so perfectly timed and delivered that the writers decided to keep it in, making it an official part of the show's canon. What could have been a blooper ended up becoming one of the most quoted lines of the season. Still, what made this little slip turn into such a big brotherly moment? Because that bit of improv sealed a genuine bond right in front of the camera, adding warmth and humor to an otherwise serious scene. It's a perfect example of how quick thinking and natural chemistry between the cast often elevated the material beyond the script. It also highlights what made Supernatural so unique with the balance of drama, tension, and perfectly placed humor. Instead of breaking the scene, Jared's playful timing made it even more memorable. So, if Jared had Sam's back in that moment, you better believe Jensen was finding his own ways to steal the spotlight, especially when food was on set. Fact 7. Dean runs back for Roasted Lizard, Season 13, Episode 10, Wayward Sisters. Only Dean Winchester could turn a monster fight into a snack break. In Season 13's Wayward Sisters, Jensen Ackles delivered one of the funniest unscripted Dean moments ever. After leaving the scene, he suddenly runs back on camera just to grab the roasted lizard skewer he'd abandoned. And of course, It wasn't in the script at all. Jensen later admitted it just felt like such a Dean thing to do, because if there's food lying around, Dean is never leaving it behind. What makes it even richer is the history behind it. Dean's food obsession actually traces all the way back to season 1, when Jensen casually improvised grabbing cocktail sausages on set. The habit stuck, and over time, it became part of Dean's identity. And when you remember how the Winchesters grew up, scraping by, often hungry, that love for food isn't just comedy, it's comfort and survival. So that roasted lizard run was Dean in a nutshell, all tough, loyal, and never too proud to chase down a snack, no matter how bizarre. 8. Andrew Floyd Webber, Season 10, Episode 5, Fan Fiction, Dean Winchester correcting someone? That's always a bold move, but in this scene, his correction was hilariously wrong. While talking to the student about the musical's composer, Jensen was supposed to say Andrew Lloyd Webber, but what came out was Andrew Floyd Webber. Yet, how does a one-word slip-up turn into one of the most quoted unscripted gems of the entire episode? Pretty obvious it wasn't a slip. It was delivered with Dean's trademark confidence. No hesitation, no backtracking. He barrels through the line as if he's absolutely right, and that conviction sells the comedy. Rather than break character or redo the take, they kept it because it felt so naturally Dean. The fact that Ackles managed to fold an honest slip into a believable character beat shows exactly why his improv moments work so well. And the most funnier thing is that fan fiction was already a love letter to the series, filled with meta-humor and nods to fans. Dropping a flub like Andrew Floyd Webber into that context only amplified the charm. The line feels improvised in real time by both actor and character. It's a sign of how the show's quick instincts and cast chemistry kept even small mistakes alive, turning them into unforgettable canon. Fact 9. Dean punches Sam post-exorcism, S2, E14 to Born Under a Bad Sign. Not every unforgettable moment on Supernatural came from clever writing. Sometimes it came from a fist. Just like in Season 2, Episode 14, Born Under a Bad Sign, fans were floored when Dean turned to Sam, freshly freed from Meg's possession, and suddenly slammed him with a punch to the face. What exactly most people don't realize is that this hit wasn't scripted at all. Jensen Ackles made a split-second decision to throw the punch, figuring Dean would still be furious after everything Sam, under Meg's control, had just done. The surprise worked perfectly. Jared Padalecki's dazed blink in the scene was his genuine reaction to getting clocked by his on-screen brother. The director instantly knew it was gold and left it in. That one improv move shifted the entire tone of the scene, turning it from a simple, welcome back moment into something heavier and more complex, equal parts anger, relief, and brotherly rawness. It also showed the trust between the cast. Jensen took a risk, Jared rolled with it, and the result became one of the most talked about scenes from the early seasons. Looking back, it's the perfect Dean move, too. He loves Sam more than anyone, but that doesn't mean he's not gonna smack him when emotions are running high. That punch was more than just improv. It was the Winchesters in their truest form. Messy, emotional, and real. Fact 10. Son of a bitch, at the stolen lottery tickets, S3, E03, Bad Day at Black Rock. Every great show has that one line fans never forget, and for Supernatural, it's Dean Winchester's legendary outburst, "Son of a bitch." The moment came in Season 3, Episode 3, Bad Day at Black Rock. Dean discovers that Bella has swiped their hard-earned winning lottery tickets, and in a flash of frustration, Jensen Ackles blurted out the now iconic phrase. The thing that makes it so special is that the reaction was pure Jensen, so natural that Jared Padalecki almost broke character trying not to laugh. The delivery was so spot on that the directors left it untouched, and over time, it became one of Dean's trademark lines, quoted by fans, memes, and even written into later scripts. It's raw, it's real, and it's exactly the kind of thing Dean would shout when the universe kicks him in the teeth yet again. This is incredible, how a single unscripted slip grew into one of the most enduring catchphrases of the entire series. It's proof of how much heart, humor, and spontaneity the cast poured into Supernatural. So, what do you think? Were these iconic Supernatural bloopers pure genius, or just happy accidents? Which one cracked you up the most? Don't just sit there, drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, before you run off, go check out the wild secrets behind Rocky Horror Picture Show, because if you don't, Dean's son of a bitch is definitely aimed at you.